Hello there, this is Dave Allen for Good and Geeky, and today we're going to make a shortcut, and we're going to make a shortcut which puts one image on top of another one in the form of a watermark. So what we're going to do is press this plus thing there to start with. We're going to say it's going to go on the share sheet, so we want to have something that comes in from the Photos app if we wanted to, and we don't want it to be anything, so deselect all, and then we're going to put on there that it's just images that we want to come into this. Okay, so come out of that into details, and we're going to call it WMD. It's going to be a watermark of mass destruction. So we can click on done now. So the first thing to do is to put in an if action. Okay, so let's go to if action and drag it in there. If the shortcut input does not have any value, we want it to go to photos and select some photos to have something to work with. So let's go to select photos. There we go, drag that and drop that into there so we can get rid of it, otherwise we don't really need that in there. Okay, let's just test it and see what happens. So I'm going to run this from here, so we're going to click on that. It's going to go into the Photos app. It's going to ask me to choose a photo, so I'm going to choose that photo there. This is a photo I was working on already, and I've already put a watermark in the bottom left hand corner. This hasn't done anything as yet. All it's done is chosen a photograph. First thing we want to do is we want to get the file that we're going to use to put as a watermark. Let's get our get file. So get a file, put that in there. We don't want to show the document picture, but we want to select a particular file. We can go into the Files app and go into one file that's put into, let's just come out of that there. So the file is going to be set into the shortcuts folder. Okay, so there's shortcuts folder, and I've already put one in there, and it's called gag, and it's a PNG file. So ghe.png, and we'll leave the error if not found in there. Okay, so let's smooth that out of the way. So let's get a quick look and drag that and drop that into there, and it's going to show us the file that's chosen. So let's run that. It's going to select a file from the Photos album, and it's showing us the file that is going to be the watermark. Get rid of that. Let's move this quick look and put the quick look at the end of the if thing instead. Let's clear that, and we'll show it. Select magic variable, and we'll get the if result. This is just to show that it's bringing something in from the share sheet. Alright, so let's go back into the Photos app again. Let's just bring our photo up. This one here will do. Picture of our motorbike. And what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to use the share sheet from here. Go to the weapons of the mass destruction, or watermark of mass destruction. And it's showing me that this is the file that's going to be sent through to the rest of the shortcut. Click on done, and we get a message to say that the thing was used. Let's go back into this here, and we can put this back here again. So as you can see, what we did there is we got it just testing that it was actually bringing in something from the Photos app using the share sheet. So it brings in something on the share sheet, and it also brings something in from the select photos if we don't have anything on the share sheet. So let's put in an overlay image, put that down there. We'll put it in after the get file. So for the moment what it's doing is saying overlay image on file. That is incorrect. We want to clear that out of the way. So we want to get the select magic variable, and we want to get their overlay image, which is this file here. Let's just rename that there so that we can make it a bit more clear, and call this watermark. So we're going to overlay the watermark on our image and select the magic variable, and that's going to be that if result. And let's get this here, and it's one that I was working on already. It's put in the bottom right left hand corner, and let's put this in the top right hand corner. Click on done. And the image has been overlaid and has put it into the top right hand corner. So it worked. As you can see at the bottom of this WMD shortcut, we've got an output. So everything was fine there. And what we want to do is we want to save that into a Photos app. Save to photo album. We could have this go into recent, but let's put it into a folder that makes a bit more sense. I've got one here that's called Watermarked. Let's run it again. And I'm going to choose this one of me. And we're going to put that down there in the bottom right hand corner. And we're going to change the opacity this time. Change it down to 20%. Click on done. Process an image. And it's done the job. And you see here we've got an image at the output. And if we go into photos, okay, watermarked. So there's the watermarked. And as you can see, this is the one that was just done. It was put into the Photos app, and it's got the watermark in at the bottom there, and it's at 10% opacity. So everything was fine, worked, good, no problem. Got a few in there already that was working on. Let's just clear that album out. So I'm going to select all this here, select all, and put them all in the bin. Remove from album or delete. We'll delete them, delete 13 photos. Okay, so somehow or other this has got moved into the wrong place. I probably did it when I was swiping across. Okay, so this is back in the right place again. So overlay watermark on if result. Now then, get it to not show image editor. We can have it so that it goes in the bottom right. Now this should work if I'd run it from here. Let's just do this. So I'm going to choose a photo first of all. Let's choose this one of my motorbike again. And as you see, we've got output there, and it's put it into the bottom right hand corner, and it saved it to the watermarked folder, and it's the opacity set at 100. It's already sized it down to a reasonable size in the bottom right hand corner, but we can be more specific with that if we want to. Let's just go into the Photos app, and you can see here in the watermark. So we've gone into the watermarked album there, and you can see that it's worked. Put the good and geeky watermark in the bottom right hand corner. So it worked. Okay then, so let's just do something else just to show you where we might have a little bit of a problem with this here. Okay, so if I go back into the library, and I'm going to choose a photograph. This one's a little bit of a paracord there as a photo. And I'm going to go to share sheet again. We're going to do the shortcut, watermark of mass destruction. And there was a problem running the shortcut WMD. Now that is a real pain in the rear end, that is. And let's go back into shortcuts again, and we'll change this again to just show image editor. And I'm going to go back into photos again. And you see I've only changed one thing there, and I'm going to run this shortcut again from the share sheet. And now it's brought up the show image editor. Now I can take that and put it into the top left hand corner, click on done. And no problem, it worked. Well, thanks to the people at talkautomators.fm and a person called Silemer, we've managed to solve that problem with the shortcut not working when it was run as a share option from Photos app or from wherever else you've got images. Now I can go into this here, or I can go into photos. Let's go to photos. So let's go to photos. That's my watermarked album. Let's go into the library. We'll grab a photograph. This one of me standing there with my new motorbike jacket, and use the share sheet. And before this wasn't working, but this should work now. Let's go to our WMD, and off it goes, and it did the job. So let's just go back now into this one here, into the Photos app, and we'll go back into the album for the watermarked things. There's your watermarked. That's the one I've just done. And as you can see, we've got our watermark logo in the bottom right hand corner as required. We can do more things with this shortcut. Let's go back into this here. And we may want to set it up so that the watermark is a specific size. So we need to do a calculation for that. So let's do a calculate. And we'll drop this in after the get file. Okay, so we don't want to calculate based on the watermarks. We've got to clear that out of the way. We've got to calculate based upon the if result. Okay, the if result is going to be the photo that is going to be watermarked. So let's just take that, rename it, and instead of being the if result, it's going to be the photo. Okay, so What we want to do is base our calculation on the photo. Do times and say the number we want to do that calculation on. So let's do 0.2. Okay, so let's go back into this here and we'll go to width. So the width of the photo that comes in, we want to times that by 0.2, which is going to give us a photo which is going to be 20% of the actual size of the image. So go back into overlay and this one here and put in the width here, and the width is going to be the calculation result and the height is going to be automatic. Now, one of the things I did do with this image before I started is that when I created the image, I put a little bit of invisible border around it, so that when I put it into the picture, it's not really tight up against the edges of the image. I need to have a bit of space in between. So that's something that you want to consider. But let's just have a look at this now and see how this works. So let's just test this. We'll run it from here. And it's going to give us a chance to select a photo. I'm going to select one of these motorbike photos. Click on add. And that should be 20% of the image. So we can test that, of course. We can go back into our calculations. Instead of 0.2, let's put 0.5. The width of the watermark is going to be about half of the width of the photo. Okay, so let's run it again. Let's just test this and find out if it's worked. We'll use the same image because we want to see if it's making a difference. So let's select that, click on add. And as you can see there, we've got the image and it's larger than the first time we did it. The thing that you might want to think about is the image that you're using should be sort of a good size that is going to be able to be made bigger and smaller, and that it's not going to get too pixelated when you do it. So you have to do a bit of testing to find out how that works. I've changed it to 0.1, and what I want to do now is I want to go back into photos. So you can see there's the photo that we just worked on there, and you put it in there, it's 50% of the size. And we'll go into this one here. We'll choose on the library. Let's choose this one here with the paracord and the knot. And I'm going to put in a share option. Going to go for WMD. It's doing its business and it's worked. And the last one we did here. And as you can see, right in the very bottom there, we've got a really tiny sort of 10% of the width of the image, and it's been covered by the size of watermark that we required. How about that then? So again, thanks very much to Silemer from the talk.autoeditors.fm who was able to come up with that. There you go, that's how to do some watermarking using Shortcuts app. And there's a lot more things you can do with Shortcuts, as we will have a look in some more videos. If there's something that you'd like to see done with Shortcuts, send in a message in the comments and I'll have a look and see if it can be done. Alright then, bye bye now. This is Dave Allen for Good and Geeky. Talk to you again soon.